Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. So I quite recently went to the Sephora and Kohl's near me and also to Ulta, and I picked up a few things, so I thought we would do a little haul here. And while I'm talking about all these products, I will have some clips going up of me trying them all out, demoing them. Now, a few of these I haven't actually tried yet, and it's because I am waiting to finish some other products. So why don't we start with those first, because they are more like skincare and body care type products. So let's start with those and then we'll move into the makeup categories. The first thing here is from Summer Fridays. This is their Pink Dew Gel Cleanser, and that is what this looks like right here. Now, I have not actually used this at all yet. I currently have a face cleanser that I have maybe about this much left. I'm about to have an empty on that, so I don't want to open this until I finish that one. I try not to have too many cleansers open. If I can help it, I'd rather only have one open at a time, maybe two, it just kind of depends, but I don't really want to use this one until that one is completely empty. So I'm excited to try this one out. I love the packaging on this. I love this color packaging. I like just how soft and just, I don't know, there's something about that color I just really like. So I'm excited to try this out. I do like a lot of Summer Fridays products, so I'm hoping that the cleanser goes well, but we shall see when I actually use this one. And products like this, I like to really get a complete empty on before I actually give any kind of thoughts, because I feel like after you finish either a cleanser, a skincare, or a body care product, I feel like that's when you really know your true thoughts on it and whether or not you'd want to repurchase it. So you might hear me talk about this again maybe in a future empties video. The next thing here is from Ilia. This is the Base Face Milk Lightweight Moisturizer, and I just got a little mini size of this. I have used just a touch of this. I've only used this a couple of times so far, and this is another thing that, of course, I want to completely get an empty on this before I would ever give true thoughts on it. The only thing that I can say up front, it's very lightweight. Well, it's like a very thin milk-like consistency. It sinks right into the skin. It does feel nice on the skin, but that's the only thing I can say because I've only used it just a handful of times at the time I'm filming this. I did buy the little mini, and if I like it, then I will definitely consider buying the full size, which is quite a big bottle of it. So I do like it currently, but I do want to, of course, use this up completely before I'd ever give full and honest thoughts on it. And the last body type product here, and I haven't used this one yet either, I know. I'm trying to get empties on some stuff first before I open this. This is from NYX. This is their Fat Oil Shimmer Body Butter, and this one is the Caramelt Mommy, I think is how you'd say that. It's like a little tub here of a body butter, and let me open this up for you. And that is what this looks like right here. It almost looks like a foundation. Like when you first open it, my first thought when I saw it was it definitely looks like a foundation. Now, I have not actually used this on my body yet, but I did use it a little bit on my hands the other day just to see about the shimmer, because it does say it is a shimmer body butter. You really can't see the shimmer. You have to actually be looking up close to see it, so it's not like chunky flecks or anything. In fact, I know some of the body butters from Tree Hut are like that. They have a very fine gold shimmer in them, but you really don't. You have to be up close to see it. It's not like it's, you know, chunky or anything like that. But when I put it on my hands, it does have a really nice like caramel scent to it. So I can't wait to try this out on my actual like full body. But I am working my way through a few. I actually have 2 lotions that I'm working on right now. So it might be a while before I get to try this one out. But it felt really nice on my hands, so I will keep you updated on this one as well. Okay, now let's get to the actual makeup portion here. And the first thing that I picked up is this from Too Faced. This is their Peach Perfector Loose Setting Powder, and this one is in Peachy Pink, which is the lightest shade. And now I know that a lot of people loved the Peach Setting Powder from the original like peach collection that Too Faced had. I never tried that one out, so I cannot attest to how this one compares to that one. I never did have that. The only thing I ever had from the original peach line was the eyeshadow palette and the skin tint or foundation. Wasn't there a Peach Perfect foundation or skin tint? I had that as well, and I did always like that, at least as far as I can remember, but I never did try the setting powder, so I can't obviously compare it to that one. But one thing about this, and this is what the container looks like here, something that I think is kind of unique about this, and I'm sure there are brands that have this kind of style, whatever you want to call it, but I've just never personally seen it, It has like a little ball here on the center, and it just rolls around, and then that's where you can see the powder comes on that. And it does have a, oh wait, no, wait, here comes a tractor, wait a minute. I'm going to have to stop because I know exactly what kind of tractor that is that's coming, and that's a big boy, and it's really loud, so hold that thought. Okay, I think he's moved far enough away where you shouldn't be able to pick it up, but it's loud. So as I was saying, if you can see that it has that ball in the center, and then you just put your brush, and then that moves, and the powder comes on that. I just thought that was kind of a unique concept. I know I've never personally seen that before, but there might be other brands that have something like that, and I just hadn't seen them. But the powder itself, it's really nice. It's quite lightweight. I feel like it is a nice everyday cut and setting powder. At least on me, I find that it does not fully mattify. Some of my glow still comes through the day, so I don't know. Maybe if you were to actually open that, I don't know if you can open the whole component up and get to the actual powder, and you might could get a puff and then really press it in to make it more. But if you're using this the way they have it, I just find that not a lot comes up on the brush. I mean, it's enough, but it's a very light setting powder overall, at least from my experience. I've used it about 3 times currently. I am wearing it today here as I'm speaking to you, and you might can see that I still have some glow to my skin. Of course, now I am using very glowy products underneath. In fact, I am using my MPH La Skin foundation, and I am using her underpainting palette. And then the Iris and Romeo Ceramide Multi Balm and Mood Boost, and all of these are really glowy kind of skin care focused products. So I do have a lot of glow going on anyway, and then my skincare underneath. But I just find that it's a very light setting powder to where I feel like it sets, but I don't feel like it fully mattifies, at least not me. But like I said, you might can figure out a way to open that component up and get like an actual puff in the powder, and you might can heavily set your face if you're more into that. Now for me personally, I like that it is more of a lighter setting powder, because some powders, when they're a little bit too heavy, they can look very dry on my skin. Now the first day I used it, I did notice a little, just a touch of dryness on my nose, but I haven't experienced that in the 2 days following. So I think that day I was testing it out with a product that I don't normally use for testing, so that's why I went with my MPH foundation, because I really love this foundation and I trust this and her underpainting palette and this blush. So I feel like this was a better test, and I have not seen any of that dryness since. But that is just something to keep in mind. I did experience that just the first day, just a little bit though. But overall, I think it's a nice powder. It does have that peachy scent. The rest of the collection, to me, I have no interest in the eyeshadow palette. I feel like that eyeshadow palette, I can't speak for the quality of it, but it is just nothing like the original peach palette they had. I did have that peach palette. I think I still have it, but I believe I put it in like a memory box or something. I don't think it's in my active collection. I need to look that up. If I still have it, and I think I do, I might bring it back out and use it again, because it has been a long time, but I feel like that was a really pretty palette. This new palette they have, I don't know, just nothing about that caught my attention. But in its defense, I am not into eyeshadow palettes at all currently, so that could play a part in that as well. But if you've tried that eyeshadow palette, you'll have to let me know how you like it. Okay, I'm just kind of going in the order that I probably would apply these products. So next, we're going to go into the brows, because I feel like after I set my face, that's when I go in with the brows. So I got the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Gel. I think that is the name of it. Oh, Brow Harmony Tinted Flexible Lifting Gel. Now, she recently released shades of this. I know she had a clear one initially, and I got mine in the shade Deep Brown. And this is what that packaging looks like. Of course, you will be seeing everything up close in the B-roll, and it does have a little applicator like that. I really like this brow gel. It does exactly what I am looking for. It fills in my brows. It's just a very nice everyday brow gel that does everything that I want. This is what I'm looking for in a tinted brow gel. I was so disappointed in the Merit one that I tried, because I felt like that was a really hyped product, and I was disappointed in that one. It was not tinted enough. It did not fill in the sparseness that I have on the top parts of my brows. I've mentioned that many times, that I'm looking to fill in my brows on the top part. The part like underneath is fine. I don't really have much sparseness there, but it's on the top. And I like something that will fill that in and just make them look a little bit more natural, I guess is the right word. I don't know. I don't want them to look too filled in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like a personal thing. I like a one and done brow step, that I can just do a brow gel that's tinted, that fills in everything and does it. And I think this one does a nice job. I am wearing it again today, and I really like it. I really like this. I'm glad that she released this in shades. I never tried it when it was just the clear, but I don't really want a clear brow gel. I want something that's tinted that does all of the work for me, and this one definitely does. I really like this one. I like this one, and then of course I love my Iris and Romeo brow gel. I think those two are top tier when it comes to brow gels. Okay, let's move on to eyeshadow. Now, while I'm not into eyeshadow palettes, I am definitely into eyeshadow sticks and even eyeshadow singles that I can press over the top of the eyeshadow stick. You know it. You know it. I bought 2 more shades of the Ilia eyeshadow sticks, okay? And the actual name of these is the Eye Stylist Shadow Stick. I picked up 2 shades. I did pick up my pretty little mint one, which is the shade Vignette. I believe that's how you say that. And then I picked up this shade, which is Adorn. I'm not going to swatch them here because you will be seeing the swatches during the demo that I'm going to be showing you. I did apply both of these in the demo so you can see both shades. I love these from Ilia. I have mentioned it so many times before on my channel. I cannot stop talking about these. I love them so very much. I want all the shades in the shimmer version. I like to bring this up every time. I don't personally like the matte ones. They felt too dry on my eyelids. Now, if you have very oily eyelids, I don't know, those might be the way to go. But for me, I love the shimmer ones. I want every single one of these. I think I have 6 of them now in these. I love them so very much. I don't know how many more I have left in the shimmer. That maybe like 4 or 5 more shades. I'm telling you, I want them all. I want them all. They are that good. I cannot stop just talking about them. Now, as with always, I do like to mention, I do get a crease with these. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't. Now, I also want to say I don't wear an eyeshadow primer. If you do wear an eyeshadow primer, that might solve even the one crease. But to me, it's not bad enough for me to go out and buy an extra step because I feel like they work good enough on their own that I don't feel the need to go buy an eyeshadow primer. I do get the one crease right in here where my actual crease is, just the one, and that's it. I have had some cream eyeshadows that crease all over the lid that wear away regardless of what's underneath them. I don't experience that with this. I just get the one crease and it's very minimal. It's not enough to bother me and I don't feel the need to go out and get an eyeshadow primer to make them work. If I have to do that, then I feel like no thank you. Because I did have someone, I know with the Tower 28 eyeshadow, the eyeshadow sticks they have, I mentioned that they wear away fast, and someone said, well, maybe you can get an eyeshadow primer. It might make them work very well, but knowing that these work the way they do without an eyeshadow primer, I don't want to buy that extra step just to make something work. That's just the way I see it. These are perfect in every way. I love them very much. I want all of the shades in the shimmer, and slowly but surely I am going to eventually pick them all up. I think they are like $30-ish a piece. In my personal opinion, worth every penny because I love them that much. And considering that I don't really care right now about eyeshadow palettes, this is what I'm looking for, and both of these shades are stunning. All of the shades I have are really beautiful. This mint color, ever since I saw that one, I just wanted that shade, and I'm glad that I picked it up. I think they do have a darker green as well, like more of an olive, I think, in the shimmer. I probably will be picking that one up next because I think this one and that one together would make a really pretty eye look, so that will probably be my next purchase. You know I'm going to buy all of them eventually. Okay, and then at Ulta, I picked up 2 of these single eyeshadows, and the first one here is from the Ulta Beauty collection, and this is the Bouncy eyeshadow in the shade Buttercream. And if you can see that right there, it does have that kind of, well, yeah, bouncy texture, kind of similar to the Super Shock shadows from ColourPop. Similar-ish. I won't say this exact same thing, but it's very similar. So, I mean, if you felt one of them, then this is kind of what that feels like as well. And this is a very pretty shade. However, when I'm showing you this in the demo, I'm wearing it by itself so you can just see it on its own. It's very much a topper shade. It is one that I would much prefer over the top of one of my eyeshadow sticks. To have like a base underneath and then put this over the top, because on its own I don't want to say I wasn't impressed by it. That's not very accurate. It's very pretty, but because it's more of like a topper, I want something on my lid and then press this over the top. I think a shade like this would absolutely be beautiful over the top of Opulent in the Ilia eyeshadow sticks because that is a very brightening kind of shade, and I think this over the top of that would be absolutely stunning. So while I do like this, I would much prefer to wear it over a base, and I haven't done that yet at the time I'm filming this because I had several eyeshadows here that I wanted to film demos for, so I do plan to use this again in the future over the top of one of my Ilia eyeshadow sticks because I know it will be absolutely stunning over that. But on its own, it's pretty, sparkly, but it's definitely like a topper, like a wash of sparkle. There's not a lot of pigment going on. So I do plan to use it over something else in the future. Now, the next one I picked up is from ColourPop. This is one of their Super Shock shadows. This one is in 11 scoops. I think it said in Ulta this was a new shade. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not. Okay, don't want to focus for me. There you go. This is a lovely shade, and I am wearing it actually in today's video, and this is one that I feel like it has a little bit more pigment than the Ulta Bouncy eyeshadow, so I am perfectly fine wearing this one all by itself because I think it makes like a really pretty soft and subtle sparkly one and done. I don't know, there's something about this one that I like better on its own. I do think it would be stunning over the top of an eyeshadow stick or just an eyeshadow in general. It doesn't have to be an eyeshadow stick. Over any eye look at all, I think it would be stunning because it's so pretty and sparkly, and it has like multiple colors. I see like, you know, some bluish kind of color, maybe like a little bit of pink, a little bit of purple. It's very, very pretty. It does look kind of like, you know, what is that, like that birthday cake kind of vibe, you know, where you see all the different colors in the cake? That's kind of what it reminds me of, and maybe that's what that means, the 11 scoops. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was so pretty, and this was the last one left at the Ulta near me, so I just wanted to grab it. But I do think it's very pretty on its own, but I bet it would be stunning over the top of an eyeshadow stick. I definitely want to try that in the future. Now, this is the first time I'm wearing this particular shade today, but I've worn the Super Shock shadows before and really do enjoy them. I always thought they were some of the prettiest products from ColourPop ever. Of course, ColourPop in general makes really pretty makeup, but I do like the Super Shock shadows, and I like them more than ever now that I'm more into these one and done or two and done kind of looks, like using an eyeshadow stick and then pressing this over the top. I'm definitely into that style of makeup right now, so I feel like I like these more than ever, but this is a beautiful shade. I really like it. That sparkle is so, so pretty. I don't know if on camera you'll be able to pick it up, but in person it's very, very pretty. I really like this one by itself, but I do think it would be pretty over the top of another eyeshadow. Okay, and the last thing that I picked up for the eyes is this from Merit. This is their Clean Lash Lengthening Tubing Mascara, and they released this in a brown. They always had this mascara in the black shade, and I did try the one in the black a long time ago. However, it was during a time where I was still wearing false eyelashes, so then I obviously wasn't that impressed by it because, well, I was used to the way false eyelashes look. However, now I really appreciate a mascara like this. Today is only the second day that I've worn it. I wore it for the first time in the demo the other day, and then I'm wearing it again today. It is a very pretty and subtle mascara. If you're someone that you like a beefy mascara, like volumizing and all that, you definitely will not like this mascara. It is a everyday kind of mascara. And I feel like, you know, when I look at it up close, not so much in this light, in the ring light, but in other lighting, like more natural lighting. At least I noticed that the other day. I have not actually been in natural lighting since I sat down to film this morning, so I can't say for sure, but the other day it actually looked more brown on my lashes than some brown mascaras do. I feel like a lot of brown mascaras end up looking like a soft black on me. It's not a big deal, but you know, it would be nice to actually have a mascara that looks truly brown. I know my lashes are naturally dark, so that probably plays a part in that. Maybe if you had lighter colored lashes, you would see more brown than I would. But I actually felt like the other day in more natural lighting, it did look a little bit more brown than some mascaras. But all that aside, I think it is such a pretty little delicate mascara. It's definitely one that it's for like a no makeup kind of day, because if you have a lot going on your eyes, like a lot of eyeshadow, you're probably not going to see this mascara because it's very much like a lengthening, fluttery kind of lash. I do really like it because I like that style of mascara, but if I'm wearing something a touch more bolder on the eyes, this wouldn't be enough. This is definitely for those very easy days where I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, but maybe I want a little something on the lashes. I do think like a look like today, it's very pretty because you can see it in front of those sparkles. Like I don't have too much going on the eyes. But if I'm wearing something a little bit more bolder, kind of like in the look you saw with the two Ilia eyeshadow sticks, that was too much for a mascara like this. That one definitely required a little bit more of a beefier mascara, at least in my personal preference. But this is really pretty. I have not experienced any smudging or flaking so far. I've only worn it twice, but I will definitely keep you updated with this one. But I do really like it thus far. I think it is a pretty delicate everyday mascara. Just it's very lovely. I am glad they released it in a brown. I wish now Iris and Romeo would follow suit and release their mascara in a brown. I didn't have the best experience with their mascara initially, but I had it in a mini and somebody told me to try it in the full size. So I'm waiting for a sale and I'm going to pick that one up again, but I would love to see them release theirs in a brown. I think that would definitely fit their makeup aesthetic. I love a brown mascara. I definitely want to try them all out. If there's a brand that does not test on animals and they have a brown mascara, I want to try it. Okay, for lips, I picked up 2 lip products here. Oh, and if you've been curious about what's on my lips, I am wearing the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in Nude Pink and the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. So if you are curious about this lip combo, that's what that is. But for the new stuff that I picked up, I have this from NYX. This is their Lip Lingerie Lip Liner Stain, and this one is in the shade Sin Nudes. And packaging looks like this. You'll of course be seeing swatches and everything in the demos, but I'm just going to be showing you a few things here while I'm just running my mouth. This is nice. I really like this. I have worn it twice now. At the time I'm filming this, it does last. Now, I don't actually, fill in my lips with it or anything. I just use it as an actual lip liner, and it is a really pretty shade, and I feel like it definitely lasts. I wore it all day yesterday, and I felt like even so many hours later, when most lip products would be faded completely away, or I could still see the liner. Now the gloss was long gone, but I could definitely still see the liner. It was very pretty. I would like to look at more shades. There's actually another shade they have. I think it's called Cuff Me. I think that's the name. It's like a pinkish kind of shade. I would really like to try that one, but I picked this shade up because I swatched it in Ulta and I thought it was such a pretty shade. Okay, I just had to take a phone call, so I'm not exactly sure where I left off with this NYX lip liner, but I do really like it. I think it works very well as a lip stain. I would like to look at more shades, especially the one that I mentioned. I do know I was able to mention that one. Like, I think it's Cuff Me, I believe is the name, because it looks like a pretty pink. But I did really like this. I felt it did very well as a lip stain. It lasted quite a long time, but I will of course continue to test it out and report back if anything changes. Okay, the next thing I picked up is from Rare Beauty. This is the new Soft Pinch Lip Oil Stick, and I picked mine up in the shade Muse, which I think the packaging on these is really pretty. And then of course you see the shade right there. This is stunning on the lips. Now this is one of those that I don't believe it's marketed as a stain or anything, but I find that with the first time I used it, I applied it and then it starts out kind of really glossy, but then I feel like it dries down to more of a stain-like looking finish kind of. I felt like once the initial shade wore away, it just left me with a really pretty stain on the lips. I thought that it just looked so pretty. It is kind of like that where, at least in this shade, it started out darker on my lips, but as I wore it throughout the day, it just kind of faded away to more of a lip stain, and I thought it looked so very pretty. I would actually like to look at more of the shades of these. I don't know, there's just something about it. I thought it looked so pretty. I might need to show you a swatch because I'm unsure. I had 2 B-roll clips of this. One where I showed it on its own and the other where I paired it up with the NYX lip liner. So depending on which one of those I use, I might not have showed a swatch. So let me just show you a swatch right here. And you can see it starts out very like glossy, but then I feel like it dried down to a stain. I don't believe it's marketed as a stain, but that's the way it ended up looking. But it felt very comfortable on the lips all day long. Just really pretty, and it smells, I couldn't quite pick up the scent initially because I said it smelled kind of like fruit, but one of the ingredients is like apple seed oil, so that's probably what I'm picking up. It has like a little subtle apple scent to it, which I do like. I personally like that. Now it's subtle, it's not overpowering at all, but I could just notice it but I couldn't quite place it. But I like the way it smells. It almost like a very light green apple scent, but not unpleasant at all. But I don't know, if you don't really like your lip products to smell like anything, you might want to test this one out in the store if you're able to and just see if it would bother you. But I don't think it's strong at all. You have to actually be trying to smell it to pick that up. But I really like this. I definitely would like to look at more shades. Don't need them, I know for sure, because on my own time, I've been kind of slowly working my lip product collection down. I've been using some lip glosses behind the scenes, trying to get empties on some of them. In fact, I'm working on one now that I have just a little bit left. So do I need to be buying lip products? No. I mean, do I need to be buying any of this? No. But I do love makeup. I love testing it out. I love trying new things. And all of this was new to me. I don't know if all of it was new to the market exactly. Well, I know the Ilia eyeshadow sticks aren't. I think those have been out for a bit, but some of this was newer to me, and I think this was a new release from Rare Beauty for sure. But I don't know, I just really enjoy testing out makeup, and I will keep you updated on all of these and how they continue to wear for me. But so far so good on pretty much all of these, except of course I will be testing out the skincare and the body care stuff in the future, and we'll report back on that probably in an empties video. I like to use stuff like that up completely before I really give any kind of final thoughts on, but so far I'm very impressed with pretty much everything that I tried here today in this video. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. All of these products will be listed and linked for you below, as well as in the YouTube shopping tag feature, and if you click through and purchase, I do earn a small commission, and if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!